Pakistan. And today we will share our ideas to you. And our project is Sponshub, which means sponsor support. And as you can see, we have already designed our logo for our project. And so before our presentation, please allow me to introduce our logos to you. And there are two hands raising hand ahead, which means and one hand is represent the sponsor and the other is represent the sponsor. And this logo shows that through our project, the students can get a sponsorship to finish their college and change their life. Yeah. So let's come to our slogan. Our slogan is provide a chance and to fulfill a dream. And here's the outline of our presentation, and you can divide it into three parts: introduction, and business model, and the future challenge. Okay, let's begin. Do you believe that everyone have an equal chance to get an education? Yeah, we believe so. So we are trying to be a linker between the sponsor and the poor students, so that the students can finish their higher education. And here is our value proposition. First of all, our project is for the poor student who cannot afford the higher education. And let's put it in another way. It just said that the Sponshub is focused on the poor students' education program. And let me end this. Sponshub actually is a website. Through our website, the students can get a scholarship so that they can finish their college. And on the other hand, some companies who sponsor the students can get a talented people. And compared to the school scholarship and the government scholarship, our website is more convenient and easier to the students to get a scholarship. And besides, our website breaks through the limitation of the quantity and the range of the government scholarship. Yeah. And of course, we can make the students and the sponsor keep in touch all the time. Okay, so why do I want to do this? Because as I mentioned, we think everyone have the equal chance to get a higher education. And then through some notes, we found that in Pakistan, the literary rate is 58%. And why I think the most important reason is about they are poor and the lack of education resource, so they can get a chance to go to the higher education. So our target market is the area where the literacy rate is lower than 16% in Pakistan. So you can see our big chain consumer is the poor but talented students in the rural in Pakistan who can afford their further education. And as I mentioned, we are the linker between two sides, so we will face two different kinds of B2C consumer. One is for the student, and the other is the companies who are ready to sponsor the students to fulfill their higher degree and work for them. And so how can we develop our idea and receive our revenue? And then Shalok will explain to you.
Thank you, Ella. I just want to start with a question. How many of us wants to pursue our master's degree from MIT? Oh, a lot of. So do you know how much does it cost to do master's degree from MIT?
Buy one new house in Singapore, that much.
Yeah. in one term, it's around 24,070 USDs. Okay, and there are two terms, so it will cost you around 50,000 just a tuition fee. And the living costs are separate, and the other transport and your other expenses are, on your behalf. So, I think, now let me ask you another question. How many of you can support studying at MIT? Nobody. I think we are our customers here now. So, the problem is affordability problems, right? We have problems like child labor, government scholarship limitations, and lack of direct access to students. Those organizations who are sponsoring students or who are providing funds for the students do not directly access to the students, right? They don't know where that funds go, or are those funds in the right hands or not. And higher literacy rate, yes, higher literacy rate and joblessness. Like our solution proposes that getting sponsorships, linking students and companies, one profile and many opportunities. It's not like Facebook that you have many friends over there on our website. It will just only be your profile, your all information, and you'll be seen and targeted by your sponsors, right? And value proposition is proposed by Ella. Unfair advantages like linking students and sponsors, creating job opportunities, reach to deserving students. And for this purpose, customer segment is written there. I will focus on cost structure. Like our cost is very low. If we talk about website development, I am computer science student, I can develop a website. So it's free for my company. Cost structures like advertisement, seminar and workshops, reaching out to students, tour expenses, and web hosting and domain name charges. Absolutely, it will be on the yearly basis. And revenue streams are student and sponsor and registration fee. We will cost around $5, but we have not decided it yet, but we will cost around $5 for registration fee. If a student wants to rank up in the search optimizations, then he will have to pay extra charges, even again $5. And we have advertisement charges, and we will go for the donations. So this is our operating model. We are connecting sponsors and students. Sponsor students and students. If sponsors are there are companies, they won't do it for free. So they will be demanding students to work for them, and we are the center intermediary body which links students and sponsors. So this is our market sizing. Actually now for the start we are considering this area who are in rural areas actually, and our served available market is area of Pakistan with 60% literacy rate, and the final goal will be total available market. We will go overseas too. So let me show you our mock-up of the website. So it's just a
Windows key और P दबाओ, Windows key और P Windows P दबाओ, Windows key और P दबाओ.
It's just a prototype, initial one. So if you are a company, you will register as a sponsor, but if you are a student, you will register as a student, right? If you go for a student, this is the whole data that we'll be needing. We have not finalized, that's why you are seeing these dirty lines, so don't go for this. We have not finalized what data we'll be doing. We'll be offering students to give us, because it's a lot of research work that we have to do. And if once the student is registered, he can sign in. And as we are taking the data from the student, so are we taking data from the sponsors. And if a student sign in, it's a very usual purpose. And this is how his profile, his or her profile will be mentioned, right? Yeah, a simple one, nothing else, just about his education, family, personal statements, everything. And here the recommendations of sponsors, if there are any sponsors who want to recommend this student to any other sponsors, so there will be recommendation sponsors. And let's sign out. And we'll also be, like it's not. So this is how our sponsors will be reading the profiles of students. If the student is paid for the optimization, so the students will be ranking first. So a sponsor can visit the student's profile by just clicking on this picture, and if he wants to sponsor a student, he'll need to provide this data and all, everything. So this is how we are attempting to do this. And that's, now let's go for the competitive analysis.
Thanks for Sherlock, and then I will tell you something about the competitive analysis. First, look the horizontal lines. It means the direct connection between the students and the sponsors, and then the vertical lines means the educational level. It means what types of education can those foundations provide, and then we compared with some competitors. For example, the government scholarship can focus on many types of educational level, but it make no links between the sponsors and the students. And so we always stand here, we can compare with our competitors. So we aim at helping the poor students to access to their education, and then we provide the link between the sponsors and the students.